Now, what can you do if you find that your home is being targeted? Now, targeted specifically because you're a senior. Now, we have to realize that as we get older, people are going to see our homes as being an easier target. I mean, think about it. If we have two homes side by side, one is owned by, let's say, a single male in his 30s, and the other is owned by a couple, let's say, in their 70s, who's going to be an easier target that robbers would think that they could go and attack? It's obviously going to be the home owned by an older couple. So we have to start putting in layers of security in order to protect ourselves the older that we get. We realize that as we get older, we're going to have less and less of an ability to protect our own property and obviously the people that live inside of those. So having in these layers of security are very, very important. I want to go over 4 specific ones. The first one is what we call entry point alarms. We want to make sure that we have entry point alarms at every single point of entry into our house. That would include windows, doors, and even sliding glass doors as well. Now, the great thing is that you can usually set up little buzzers. So whether we're in the house or even outside the house, we're going to be alerted if someone gains access through, let's say, the back sliding glass door or even through a window. These can be great little deterrents for people, not only because they see that these windows and these doors are rigged, but by putting simple stickers outside of them, it's just once again going to make robbers seem like our property is a less likely property that they could be successful. The second kind of thing that I would put in is cameras. Now listen, decades ago, I would see that especially corporations, they would invest in a bunch of fake cameras, and the fake cameras would act as a deterrent for robbers and thieves not to be breaking into businesses. Later on, I did see some homes started using this, but in this day and age, security cameras are so inexpensive, it is not intelligent for you guys to skip over this little simple addition to your home. You want to put these cameras not only at your front door, but also at, like we just talked about, entry points, whether it be on the sides of the house or the back of the house, to deter robbers from seeing our home as a very easy kind of a target. The third thing that we want to make sure is that within our home, we have weapons that are placed around. Now, I know that some of you guys are big firearm enthusiasts, some of you guys are not, and that's fine. Whatever you guys choose as your weapon, whether it be edged weapons, blunt weapons to protect yourself, or firearms, I want to make sure that you have weapons throughout your house in different areas in the home to protect yourself. So if by chance someone does break in your home, we don't have to travel, let's say, upstairs or back down the hallway in order to find a weapon. We have something that's usually close to us that we can use to defend ourselves. The last tip that I want to throw on out there is making sure that we have an area of final retreat. All that means is that we have an area that we can escape to that is going to hold 3 different things that's going to act as obstacles for somebody who might be attacking us. Now, when we're in our home, that's obviously a very, very scary thing, but the quicker that we can get up and get to an area of security, the better off we are. In that area of security, we want to make sure that we have 3 things that are going to kind of deter that robber or that attacker. The first thing is that we want to have an obstacle. Now, the easiest obstacle that we have is a door. I would suggest that you invest in a little bit of a thicker door and a better lock on whatever this final kind of area of security is. Now, it doesn't have to be super big, super expensive. We're not talking about putting a steel door up. We're just talking about maybe putting a front door grade door on our bedroom door. Now, why is that important? Well, it's going to take a little bit more energy. Maybe it's going to take some extra tools to get through that door. So once we get it into that bedroom, we can shut that door, apply the lock, and the person's not going to bother with trying to get through that door. It's just going to create too much of a problem. So that's the first kind of obstacle we have. But even within the room, it's okay to have obstacles too. And an easy obstacle that we have is setting up our bed where we can get behind our bed. Now, why is this so important? Well, especially at night, think about all the lights being off and things like that. If we can go ahead and we can get behind our bed, that's where we can set up, especially with our firearm or something like that. That is creating an extra obstacle where if someone does get into our room, that is going to create an obstacle for people to have to kind of get through in order to get to us and our loved one as well. So by setting up certain obstacles, whether it be doors or furniture within the room, those can be just great little deterrents right there. The second thing I would say in that kind of security room right there is by having an extra weapon. I know it might seem kind of like as a common sense thing, but whether it be a gun in the side dresser or some other kind of weapon that you feel comfortable with using, you want to make sure that that room is heavily armed as well. And it has several weapons that we can get to very, very quickly. Last but not least, we want to make sure that we have a phone or access to a phone within that room. Why? Well, because especially if we lock that door and a person can't get through that door, we want to have a means of getting to the outside world, especially getting to the police or even getting to other loved ones that might be even in our neighborhood for extra help. So that is a great place where you can put, let's say, a burner phone or a cheap phone that can be charged in there. A lot of you guys I know still have landlines, and it's okay to go ahead and put a landline within the bedroom, but somewhere where we would have an actual phone that we could use if by chance that we've already escaped to our final point of retreat, and then we can contact someone for added help. As I've always said before, fighting smart is the way to go, but you also want to make sure that we have physical means or physical skills in order to defend ourselves if by chance we have to. Make sure you guys check out the link in the description for more information on those programs.